Quality is one immensely significant attribute that dictates, commands, and inspires our choices every single day across different spheres of life. This fact remains true in the business world as well, where different teams strive to meet the quality benchmark set by the stakeholders for a wide set of projects. Project quality management is the process of constantly measuring the quality of all activities and taking corrective action until the desired quality is achieved. The main principle of project quality management remains to ensure that the project meets or exceeds stakeholders' needs and expectations. The project team must develop a good relationship with key stakeholders, especially the donor and the project's beneficiaries, to understand what exactly quality means to them. In this course, we will cover the three main components of quality management: quality planning, quality assurance, and quality control. So stay tuned and learn all that you can about project quality management.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoy this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video for any queries or suggestions and I'll respond to your comments. Hello, my name is Shantanu Rana and today I am going to teach you this course on project quality management by Great Learning. But before we actually start with this course, I want to understand that what exactly is your knowledge of quality when we talk about project management. I want all of you to just think about it for a while. Whenever we are talking about managing a project, quality is a very important aspect in that. Why and how do we need to manage it? That is something we will be exploring in this particular course. So let's not waste any time and directly move to the agenda, and I will be telling you what exactly we are going to cover in this particular course one by one. So as you can see on the screen, the first thing that we will be discussing is what is quality. Before we actually get into the depth of project quality management and I tell you that how to manage quality in the field of project management or in any other field for that matter, first of all, we need to understand what exactly is quality, how it is defined when we are talking about a project, when we are defining a project, or when we are defining the objectives of a project. What is the meaning of quality in that particular area? I'll also be telling you what is the difference between quality and grade. That is something we will be exploring, and I'll also be telling you what are the consequences if we do not plan for quality in a project. What can happen? All those things we will be discussing in the beginning of this particular course. Then we'll move to importance of managing quality on a project. Why do we need to manage quality? Why can't we just evaluate the quality at the end? Why do we need to plan for it? We need to assure quality and we need to control quality. What is the need of all these factors? That is something we will be discussing in the second module. Then what is project quality management? Then directly we'll just get into the depth of the topic and we'll try to understand the word quality in project management. And eventually we'll understand the definition of project quality management. Then why project quality management? The benefits of project quality management and what is the importance of managing quality when we are talking about managing a project. That is also something we will be exploring in this particular module. Then we'll move forward and we'll try to understand the main components of a quality management process. What are the different stages and how do you go about managing a quality whenever we are talking about project? So there will be 3 stages in that. Quality planning. Now, how do you do that? There's a separate module on that. Then quality assurance and then finally quality control. So these are the 3 major steps that are there in this project quality management process. Now, how things work, what is the input for all these steps, and what is the output, that is something we will be exploring in much more detail in these modules. All right. So as you can see, the first thing that we are going to discuss is what is quality. Now, let's try to first of all understand that what exactly is quality in terms of project management. So whenever we will be discussing about quality in general, it can mean different things in different scenarios. But what does it mean? What is the meaning of quality when we are talking about project management? That is something we will be seeing in this particular module. So quality is the extent to which a set of inherent characteristics meets a set of criteria. Whenever you are talking about managing a project, there is always some objective.
there are always some specified needs that we need to meet. There is some set of criteria. Now, to what extent you meet that set of criteria is your quality. If you are meeting that set of criteria to a good level, that will be high quality. If you are not meeting it to a good level, that means low quality. So that's how it works. Now, in project management especially, quality is the extent to which a project compiles with certain specifications. Whenever you talk about managing a project, there are always some goals, there is always some vision. To what extent you meet that set of criteria in a particular project defines quality in project management. Then one core concept of project quality management is that quality is planned in and not inspected in. Let me give you a very simple example. Let's just assume that we are managing a project, we are working on a project right now, and you do not plan for quality. You have no idea how you are going to manage the quality, plan the quality, or assure the quality in that particular project. Let's say it's a construction project. Then eventually, once everything will be done and the project will be ending, we'll realize that we'll actually have to go for rework maybe because the quality was not good enough. And quality is extremely important in certain industries such as construction industry or maybe in other industries as well. So we'll have to go for rework, and that will not be a very cost effective method. Maybe we'll have to repeat the entire work and it will be wastage of money, time, energy and efforts. So we'll have to make sure that whenever we are going to manage a project, we will have to plan for the quality rather than going and checking it at the end, because that will be evaluation. Planning for quality and then evaluating quality. These are two different things. So when we talk about project management or project quality management, we have to remember that quality is always planned in and it is not inspected in. So that is one important point to remember. Then project quality is a critical determinant of customer satisfaction. Whenever we are talking about quality, it starts with customers, it starts with end users, and it ends with the customers too. So that is one important aspect. Whenever we are talking about quality, at the center of it, there is a customer. And we have to make sure that we meet the expectations of that customer. So project quality is a critical determinant, is an essential determinant of customer satisfaction, which in turn is a fundamental determinant of project success. Whenever you have a project, you are managing a project, how will you decide whether that project is a success or a failure? By looking at the specified needs, whether you have met the objectives or not. Now, how will you decide whether you have met the objectives or not? By looking at the satisfaction rate of the customers, of the end users. If customers are satisfied, that means the project was a success. If customers or end users are not satisfied, that means the project was a failure. So, in order to decide whether a project was a success or a failure, customer satisfaction is a fundamental determinant, which is a critical determinant for project quality. All these things are actually interlinked, and that's how this entire bit works. So, whenever we are talking about project management or project quality management, you always have to remember that at the heart of it, there is a customer, and in order to meet the expectations, the needs of that customer, we have to manage the quality. Quality cannot be inspected in at the end. We have to plan for it. We have to plan and we have to see how we are going to manage the quality. We should have a proper vision for that. Then how to assure it, how to make sure that each and everything is going in a smooth way, in an efficient way. That all bit is a part of project quality management. Now let's move forward and try to understand that what exactly is the difference between quality and grade. So these are two terms where people get confused very easily. So you need to understand that quality refers to how well a product fits the needs of the customers or end users. As I already told you, quality cannot be defined without a customer at the center. So it completely depends upon the expectations of the customer or the end users. If you are meeting their expectations, the quality is good. If you are not meeting their expectations, the quality is not good. It is as simple as that. But when you talk about grade, it refers to the classification given to products that have the same functional purpose but differ in technical qualities. A high grade may not always reflect a high level of quality. Again, I have written two very simple examples. 24 karat gold is a higher grade as compared to 22 karat gold. but jewelry made of either grade can be of high quality. Now that is very important to understand. If you look at, I give you two options, which one of these two will have higher grade, 24 karat or 22 karat? You'll say 24 karat. But does that mean that we can say the quality of 24 karat is good? No, if you make jewelry of both these grades, the quality can be good for any of these. It does not matter on the grade. It is simply dependent upon to what extent it has met the requirements, the expectations of the customers or the end users. So you don't have to confuse between the two terms, quality and grade. A high grade may not always reflect a high level of quality. That is extremely important to understand. Then there are some more examples that a software application can be of high quality but low grade. You must have seen there are so many variations that we will be getting for these softwares and applications. Sometimes we'll see that the grade will be higher, but the expectations of the customers won't be met. So in that case, we can say that the grade is high, but the quality is less. So these two bits, that is quality and grade, can be inversely proportional to. It is not always mandatory that if the grade is high, the quality will be high too. So now let's start from reasons for poor quality. Now you must be thinking that we always know that whenever we have to meet the expectations of the customer or the end users, we have to make sure that the quality is good. It should be up to the mark. But there are so many operational processes and projects we see that the quality is not so good. Now, what could be the reason behind that? What are the reasons for poor quality? Number one, lack of discipline. Whenever we are talking about managing quality or assuring quality, planning for that is extremely important. And that will never be suitable until unless you are fully disciplined. So you have to be disciplined. If you have lack of discipline, definitely you will not be able to plan for it and then assure it or then control it. And eventually it will be a wastage of time, energy, money and effort. So that is the thing. So we have to make sure that we are disciplined if we are talking about managing quality, planning for quality. Second thing is insufficiently stated requirements. If you do not know what are the specified needs, if you do not know what exactly is the vision, the mission of this particular project, what do we want to achieve? What is the expectations of the customer? If the stated requirements will not be clear, then definitely it will be an issue and it will cause poor quality that in any particular project. The next is unpredictable changes. If there are changes and we are not able to manage those changes, we always say that change is not a bad thing. Change is constant, but a lot of people cannot adapt to that change. That is an issue. So if there are so many unpredictable changes, then we will not have a plan which is ready that we can directly implement. We will have to plan again. We will have to think about the entire process again. So that can be one major reason for poor quality. Then poor documentation and poor quality control. So that is also one thing. If you have not documented everything, you do not know that what you have learned from your previous project. Maybe you have done a mistake. If you have learned from that previous project, you can definitely implement that because you have it documented. But if you won't document the same, you will have no idea, you will have no learnings from your previous projects. That can also cause poor quality. Then ineffective management. If we cannot manage things and people, definitely the quality is going to be poor. Because when we talk about quality, it's not that only one person can get us good quality. Only one person can make sure that the quality is up to the mark. There are multiple managers involved at times when we are talking about any project or any process. There are so many resources, human resources, financial resources, asset management, so many things are there into the picture. So managing all those things, all the human resources, non-human resources, that is also extremely important in order to make sure that the quality is good, it is up to mark. Then unclear goals. Again, same thing. As I was telling you that if we do not have clear mindset, that is where I want to reach. This is the desired position where I want to reach. If you won't have this kind of clear mindset, then again, the quality is going to be poor because we do not know what we want to achieve. We do not know that what exactly the end user is expecting out of this particular product or this particular project. So we will never have an idea about the project success or project failure because all these things are very subjective and are completely dependent upon the expectations of the customer or the end users. So we should have very clear goals. Only then we will have good quality. Then unrealistic demands. If it is not attainable, we have the desired position, we have clear goals, we have the planning for that. Everything is there in the right place. But if the demands are unrealistic, we do not know how to reach there. We don't have the stepwise learning for that. We do not know that how exactly will that be attainable, achievable. So that will be an issue again, and that can again be one of the reasons for poor quality. Then staff issues. That is a given that if there are any staffing issues, that will also cause poor quality. If let's say in one place, in one project, 10 people are required, but we have only 5 people, definitely the quality is going to suffer. Similarly, if there are 10 people required, but there are 20 people, then also quality can suffer because people will not take it seriously and there can be lack of discipline. So there are various factors into the picture, but the major reasons for poor quality are lack of discipline. And if we don't have a clear goal, we don't have a clear desired position where we want to reach. So whenever we are talking about any project or managing a project, make sure you are very clear that what will be project success and what will be the criteria for project failure. How can we meet the expectations of the customers? If you are clear about these what, when, where, why questions, definitely you will be able to manage the quality, you will be able to plan for it, you will be able to assure it, and eventually you will be able to control it as well. And it will help you in your upcoming projects too. Because whatever project you are doing right now, eventually you can control the quality, but you should have some learnings from that as well. If you'll have the learnings, implement it in your next project, and that is only going to increase your chances of increasing the quality, the expectations of the customers. So that's how this entire process works. All right. So now you have understood that what exactly is quality, what is the difference between quality and grade, and what are the different reasons for poor quality. We are clear about everything related to quality. Now it is important for us to understand that what is the importance of managing quality on a project. Why don't we just leave it? Why don't we just evaluate it when the project is done, when the project is going to end? Why do we need to start from the very beginning? Why do we need to plan for it? What is the importance of that? What is the need for that? These are some questions which will be answered in this particular module. So the first point, as you can see over here, is time, money, and efforts invested in planning and managing quality upfront will produce reduction in costs later on. Just assume two scenarios. Scenario number one, where you have a proper plan from the beginning itself. You are seeing that how to assure quality, whether you are meeting the requirements, the standards or not, and you are making sure from the beginning itself. You are planning accordingly. That is scenario number one. And there is scenario two, where you are done with the project, then eventually you evaluate the quality and you find a mismatch between the actual needs that we were supposed to meet and the needs to the extent that we have met. What do you think is the better case? I want you to pause the screen for a while and think about it. Definitely, a lot of you must be thinking that the first case is better, because in that particular case, we have a proper plan in place and we know how to make things work out. And you are right about it. Scenario one is actually the best case, because I made it very clear in the beginning itself that quality should be planned in. It cannot be inspected in. If one project is done, you go at the end and you try to evaluate, try to assess things, that may not work out. And the major issue is time, money, and efforts will be wasted in that case. If you go evaluate the quality and you find out that it is not up to the mark, then you will have to do the entire process once again, which will be wastage of time, money, energy, and efforts. So that is one major issue. But if you plan for the quality from the beginning itself, definitely there will be some reduction in cost. Your time will be saved too. So that's the beauty of planning for quality from the beginning itself. Then quality management plan will give confidence to the stakeholders that they will receive the product they expected. So whoever is the stakeholder, the people who are going to get affected by that particular project, by that particular process, if we'll have a proper plan in place, then everyone will be very, very confident that, okay, this is what we are expecting. They have a proper quality plan for that and they are going to meet the specified needs. But if you won't have a plan, we will be completely lost. We will have no idea. We will know that these are the desired positions where we want to reach. This is the objective that we want to achieve. But how? That question will never be answered in case we don't have a proper plan for quality. So having a plan, a proper quality management plan is extremely important. Then this will improve the effectiveness during life cycle of the project Taking learnings from project to project will support continuous improvement. If you are planning for quality in a particular project, it is never going to make sure that the quality will be the best for that particular project. Sometimes things can work out and sometimes things may not work out. But what we can do is we can always take some learnings from the previous projects and we can try to improve those things in the upcoming projects. So that is also one thing which can be assured if we have a proper quality management plan, because all those things will be documented that these are our learnings from this particular project. Then we will try to improve those things, try to implement all those methods that we have discovered in the next project. So that will also make sure that the quality is going to be up to the mark in that particular direction. Then this will reduce rework, which in turn will reduce the project cost. As I was mentioning, if you don't have a project quality plan and you move forward, and at the end, once the project is about to end, you evaluate and you find out that the quality is not up to the mark, then you will go for the rework, which will cost money, time, energy, and the finances definitely. But if you have a proper quality management plan, there will be no need of rework, because eventually you know that, okay, this is where I am supposed to go, and you have a proper plan for it, and you are managing it from the very beginning itself. So it's not like there are some gaps where we are managing it. It's a part of the entire project management plan. So that's how it works. If you are managing a project, you cannot come like, okay, at this point we are going to manage the quality, we are going to assure the quality. It's always a continuous process, always ongoing along with the project. That's how quality is managed whenever we are talking about a project. So these are some important points that you should always remember whenever we are talking about managing quality on a particular project. All right. So now let's look at the definition of project quality management. We have understood the basic things about quality and how things work whenever we are managing a project, how things work from the point of view of managing quality. So let's move forward and directly look at the definition of project quality management. So as you can see on the screen, the first point says that project quality management is the discipline used to ensure that the outcomes of the project as well as the processes used to provide those outcomes fulfill the stakeholders' requirements. Now you have to remember two things here. So generally there's a confusion. Some people think that if we are meeting the stakeholders' expectations, the quality is assured. But we also have to make sure that the processes used to provide those outcomes, used to provide those needs, those requirements are also equally important whenever we are talking about project quality management. So whenever we talk about managing quality in a particular project, you have to ensure that whatever is the outcome of that project and whatever processes we are taking in order to reach those outcomes, in order to reach those specified needs. So both these things are equally important when we talk about project quality management. Project quality management ensures that the project meets the specified needs for which it is undertaken. That is the main objective whenever we are talking about the quality in project management. The main benefit of managing quality in a project is that it provides direction on how quality will be validated and managed throughout the project life cycle. As I was mentioning before as well, whenever we talk about managing a particular project, it's not like there will be phase one of the project and after that we will manage the quality, we will assure the quality. Then there will be phase two, we will manage the quality. That's not how it works. That is not a good way. The better way is we have to plan for quality from the very first phase, from the very first day of the project. Whatever project we are going to manage, we should know what are the expectations from that particular project from the point of view of the stakeholders, the customers, the end users. And then according to that, we should have a proper quality plan ready. That is one thing. Once we have a proper quality plan ready, then we will go for quality assurance. And we will make sure that whatever plan we have, are we actually going to meet those needs? Are we actually going to meet those requirements? That is done by quality assurance throughout the project life cycle. And then eventually quality control. We see that, okay, this is a mismatch. This is what we are supposed to get and this is what we are getting. So if that's a mismatch, we always have to fill that. We always have to plan for that. That is quality control. So these are three major things and we will be discussing about these three things in detail as well. First of all, you plan for the quality, then you assure the quality, and then eventually you control the quality. and it is done throughout the project life cycle. There will not be certain points where we will be managing the quality. It will be done from day one till the last day. Last day also we will document the learnings that we have from particular project and we will apply it in the next project. So that's how it actually works. The main benefit of managing quality in a particular project is that it provides direction on how quality will be managed and how it will be validated throughout the project lifecycle, not at a particular phase of the project. Now, moving forward, let's see why project quality management. We are discussing a lot about project quality management, but why do we even need it? Why can't we just, evaluate the quality maybe at the end and we can just go about the process? What is the actual need of managing quality in a project? That is something we will be exploring over here. So why project quality management? Number one, less wastage of time, money, and efforts, because we won't have to do the rework again if we are managing the quality properly. If you won't manage the quality properly, definitely you will have to go for rework, because there will always be some mismatch between the requirements and between the stage where we have actually reached. And to fill that mismatch, we will have to go for rework, which will be a wastage of time, energy, money, and efforts. So definitely you should make sure that you manage the quality from the beginning so that there is less wastage of all these factors. Then second point is more efficiency and effectiveness. Now, what is that about? So if you're managing the quality from the beginning, we will always be efficient. Everyone will be productive. We will know what we are supposed to achieve and how we are supposed to achieve it. It is said that if you have a plan, you will achieve it. If you don't have a plan, you are lost. So if you have a quality plan, the quality at the end of the project will be up to the mark. But if you don't have a quality plan, the effectiveness will be very less, the efficiency will be very less, and overall productivity and the quality for that particular product or service will also be very, very less. So that's why project quality management is very, very important. Then deeper grasp of the customer demands. As I told you, whenever we are talking about quality, it starts with customers and it ends with customers. How? Why? We have discussed it already. That when we have to manage the quality, the major criteria, number one thing is, are we meeting the customer demands? Are we meeting the demands or the requirements of the end users or not? That is the most important thing. So if we are going to plan quality, assure quality, definitely we will get a deeper grasp of the customer demands as well, because that is something that we will actually have to analyze when we are talking about managing quality. Then improved risk management. That is again one thing connected to less wastage of time, energy, and money. Because if you don't have a proper quality plan, the risk will be very high. That there will be chances that maybe you will have to do that entire work again. Because maybe the mismatch between the actual requirements and the requirements what we have met is huge. And we just can't proceed with that. Then we'll have to do the rework. So risk involved will be very, very high if we just do this quality management at certain phases. But if we start from the beginning and we manage the quality from the very beginning, then the risk involved will also be very, very less. Then greater customer satisfaction, because quality is all about meeting the customer demands. So if we will be able to manage it, the customer satisfaction will be very high, and which in turn will make sure that the project is a success and not a failure. Because when we talk about a project, eventually it comes down to a project success. Then consistent control of main business processes. That is one thing. That's why project quality management is extremely important. Then increased profitability, because definitely the less wastage of time, energy, and money will be there. So whatever human resources we have, whatever non-human resources we have, we will be making sure that each and everything is efficient, effective, and productive. That will make sure that the profitability is eventually increased. Then an embedded culture for quality. A culture cannot be built. You have to work hard for that. So if we are talking about managing a particular project, it can't be like we'll just come and we'll say that, okay, quality has to be good and it will be good. No, you should plan for it. You should assure it. You will have to do the hard work for that. Now, how that is done? By having a proper project quality management plan. So that is something which will be embedded into the culture after that. So having quality in a particular project is fine, but sustaining that quality throughout is very, very important. And that can be done if we have proper quality management into the right place. Now, moving forward, let's try to understand that what are the main components of a quality management process. So we have understood what exactly is quality, the difference between various terms that confuse, such as quality and grade. We have also seen the reasons for poor quality, and then the definition of project quality management. So each and everything is clear. Now, what are the main components of quality management process? We are going to manage the quality. It is important also, but how? Now that how question will be answered in this particular module. So main components of quality management process are quality planning, quality assurance, and quality control. So step 1, you plan for the quality. Step 2, you have to assure the quality. And step 3, you have to control the quality. And your work is done. You take the learnings for the next project. That's how it works. So let's talk about quality planning first of all. It involves identifying and evaluating which quality standards are important and are relevant to the project and establishing how to meet them. This is about basically setting the goals, smart goals, specific, measurable, achievable, time bound. Those kind of goals we have to set. That this is the set of criteria, that is something where we want to reach at. So that part is done by project quality. So it involves identifying and evaluating which quality standards are important. So that is about project quality planning. Then quality assurance. It ensures that the project will employ all standards and processes needed to meet requirements. We have established the requirements or the expectations in the quality planning. But how will you ensure whether the project will employ all those standards, all those requirements or not? That is done by quality assurance. Then the last step is quality control. It involves the monitoring of specific project outcomes to evaluate if the outcomes comply with quality standards, and based on those results, establishing ways to eliminate causes of unsatisfactory outcomes. So when we say planning, it is about setting the goals, evaluating the quality standards. Once the quality standards are established, now how will you assure that? By quality assurance, you will make sure that the project will employ all the standards and processes. That is done in quality assurance. Now, how will you evaluate to what extent we have met it or to what extent we are losing? That is done by quality control. So it involves the monitoring or controlling of specific project outcomes to evaluate if the outcomes comply with quality standards or not. And what can we do in order to meet the quality standards that we have established in the first step? So that is something which is done in quality control. Now, let me give you this basic overlook so that you can understand it in much better way. So what is quality planning? It is about this one question. What is quality and how can we ensure it? Now, what do I mean when I say quality, that what is quality? We have already seen the definition of quality. You must be thinking, why are we talking about it again? But there's a reason for that. Whenever we are talking about a specific project, so the definition of quality for each and every project can be different. If you are managing, let's say, a construction project, the quality can be something else in for that particular area, for that particular project. But if you go in, let's say, some other sector, healthcare sector, pharmaceutical sector, the meaning of quality can be totally different. The standards will be totally different. So first of all, in quality planning, we have to see what is the meaning of quality for that particular project. Then how can we ensure it? How will we make sure that what are the standards? What are the goals where we are supposed to reach? So that is part of quality planning. Then quality assurance. So are we following the quality standards? Now that is one question. We have established the quality standards in quality planning, but are we actually following it? Or we have just set it and we are not following it? That is done by quality assurance, by assuring the quality whether we are following, we are going to meet those standards or not. Now, whether we will actually meet those standards or not, that is the third step, quality control. Are we meeting the quality standards? Establishing the quality standards, quality planning. Then are we following the quality standards? Quality assurance. Are we meeting the quality standards? That is quality control. So these are the three major steps. You have to ask yourself these WH questions when you are going with this entire process. There are two important key points that I have mentioned. Number one is each process necessitates the participation of one or more individuals depending on the project's requirements. And second point is each process occurs at least once during the project life cycle. We initiate the project and then we implement and then we go about closing the project. In this entire project life cycle, each of these processes, planning, assurance, or control, will at least come once in that entire life cycle. So that's how this entire process works. All right. Now let's discuss about each of these steps, quality planning, quality assurance, and quality control in much more detail. So first of all, let's take quality planning. What is the input when we are talking about quality planning, and what eventually will be the output from this particular process, from this particular stage? So quality planning will include customer expectations. That is one thing. Quality starts with customers and quality ends with customers. That is always there. We have to make sure that we are meeting the customers' expectations, the stakeholders' expectations. Then success criteria and acceptable tolerances for achieving those objectives. We have set the objectives. We have established the quality standards. But what will be the success criteria? To what extent we have to meet those objectives? That is also decided in quality planning. Then internal and external standards. Then systematic documentation of plan and procedures for testing, review, control, etc. Basically, quality planning you have to start once you are starting with your project directly. You have to see how will you control the quality, how will you assure the quality, what is the plan for that. You have to make the plan. You have to see who will do the testing, who will do this part, who will manage this part. Each and everything is decided. The management of the human resources, non-human resources, how many people will do that task, in order to make sure that the quality is managed and the quality is controlled throughout the project life cycle. So that is very, very important when we talk about quality planning, and all that is done in planning step. Then a systematic documentation of that is a must. Then testing, supervision, and management roles and responsibilities. Then having the roles and responsibilities in one thing, but giving them clear description about their roles is another thing. So we know that who's going to do the testing, who's going to do the supervision or the management for this particular part. But how that will be done, what will be the standards for quality, that is again established in quality planning. So when we talk about quality planning in general, it's about giving the definition of the quality for that particular project, and then establishing the requirements of the customers, the end users, and seeing what are the quality standards we should meet and how we should meet that. So each of these things should be included in quality planning. In terms of input and output, you can say that we should have a project management plan. That is one thing. If we won't have a project management plan, we can never develop a quality plan. The first thing that we should have as an input is project management plan, stakeholders' expectations. We should know what will be the success rate for this. What are the customers looking forward to? Do they really want this? What is their expectation? That should be very clear. Then risks involved. We should know that these are the unpredictable changes, unpredictable flows that can happen in this particular project. That clarity should be there. Then requirements documentation. What are the requirements, the standards? That documentation should be there. And deliverables. What we are supposed to deliver. What will we call it? When will we call it as a project success? So that is also one thing. So all these things are extremely important, and these should be taken as input. And then once we'll plan the quality, what will be the output? Number one, quality management plan. So we will have a quality management plan ready from all these inputs. Then process improvement plan, that will also be ready, because we know that that's how we are going to manage the quality. And if we'll see a mismatch, how will we improve that? How will we cover that? So that will also be decided in the quality planning phase. Then quality metrics and quality checklist. That this is what we are supposed to do. That is what we are supposed to do. These are the standards. That's how we are supposed to meet it. All these what, when, where questions for assuring the quality, for controlling the quality are also answered in quality planning. So this is what quality planning is all about. Now let's move forward and try to understand more about quality assurance, which is the second step in this entire process of project quality management. So quality reviews are an important techniques for ensuring quality. The quality plan will outline how they will be carried out. So in quality plan, we know that these are the established standards, these are the specified needs, and that's how we are supposed to reach there. But how will we make sure whether we are following those standards or not? That is done by quality assurance. And quality reviews are a very important technique, very essential technique when we talk about quality assurance or ensuring quality in general. So what is the main objective of reviews? doing the quality reviews? Number one, assure that the project is progressing according to the agreed upon plans and protocols. We have decided the plans. We have decided the specified needs in the quality planning phase. But are we actually following it? Are we actually progressing according to that? Or are we going in some other direction? That is assured by quality assurance, by quality reviews. Then assess the efficacy of agreed upon plans. To what extent we are meeting the agreed upon plans? We will never be able to meet it at 100%. There will always be some mismatch. But to what extent we are meeting, all those things should also be documented, and that is part of basically your quality assurance, ensuring the quality. Are we following it or not? Then take notes on what you have learned so that you can use it in the upcoming projects. Then determine whether there is a lack of compliance and where there are opportunities for improvement. So you have decided the standards, but once you'll start progressing, you'll see that this could have been done better, or this could have been done in this way. So note down all those areas of improvement. That is only going to be helpful for you in the next steps. Once we will be controlling the quality, or we'll be moving to some other projects maybe. Then there's a small note as well that quality assurance encompasses the entire project life cycle rather than focusing on a single step. So we generally say that these are stages of project quality management, that you plan the quality, you assure the quality, and then you control the quality. But does it really happen in this structured way? Not really. If you talk about a real world project, all these phases are actually overlapping with each other. You should have a plan ready. Once the plan is ready, it won't be like that at this particular stage, we will be having quality assurance check. We will be having quality reviews. It's throughout. It's an ongoing process so that we can improve. It should be very agile. That is the word. So that's how we progress with any project, by assuring the quality from the very beginning till the very end. Now let's look at the input and the output for quality assurance as well. So what we need, and then once we have assured the quality, what will be the eventual output? As in input, all the outputs that were there for quality planning will be inputs for quality assurance, such as quality management plan, process improvement plan, then quality metrics and checklists. So all these things were outputs from quality management plan. Now, once we have the plan ready, we'll take it as an input for quality assurance. We'll assure the quality, we'll do the quality reviews, and then we'll get the output. Now, what is that output? Change requests. If we'll feel that this could have been done better, this we can do in this particular way. This is the better way, because once we progress with the project, then there will be so many changes. So all those change requests are made. Then project management plan updates, if there is any update that needs to be done, because planning things and then executing things are two different things. Sometimes we'll plan something, but when it comes to implementing, we'll see it from a different perspective. So if there are any updates in that direction, that needs to be done, and that is done from quality assurance. Then project documentation updates. So these are the major outputs. Once the quality is assured, quality assurance is done. Now moving forward, let's try to understand more about quality control, which is the last phase of this entire process of project quality management. So when we talk about quality control, point number one is inspection, testing, and quality measurement are used to ensure that project deliverables are compliant with specifications and fulfill stakeholders' expectations. We establish the standards in project quality plan, and then we make sure that are we meeting those plans, are we following those plans or not in quality assurance. But in quality control, we have to make sure, are we meeting those plans or not? If we are meeting, to what extent? That is something which is done in quality control, because that's how the quality will be controlled for the next phase in that particular phase. That is the main thing. We plan, we assure in order to control the quality eventually. So quality control procedures vary, and the techniques used are based on the requirements of the projects. It always depends upon the project. In fact, the definition of quality in general is different for each project, as I already mentioned. So what are the procedures and the techniques? That will again depend upon the kind of project that we have undertaken. Then the particular inspection method employed is totally dependent on the technical nature of the specified needs and the product of the project. What do we want at the end of this project? What will we call it as a project success? What will make it a success? That is something which should be very, very clear, and accordingly, project quality control is done. We are going to control the quality, keeping in mind that this is what we want from this particular project. If we won't have the specified needs, we will never be able to control the quality, because we will never be able to understand what we wanted to achieve and what we have achieved. So that clarity, that gap should be very, very clear, and then only the processes can be improved. So that's what quality control is all about. Now let's again look at the input and the output part when we talk about controlling the quality. So quality management plan, quality checklists, metrics, these are again the outputs of quality planning. Then approved change requests, whatever changes we are making after quality assurance, whatever work performance data we have from quality assurance, that is all taken as an input, and then we get the output. Now what is that output after quality control? Quality control measurements, validated changes, completed checklist, whatever quality checklist we had, that these are the standards that we want to meet. Are we going to meet those standards or not? Have we met it? To what extent? That is all documented by quality control. Then quality improvement, how that can be done, verified deliverables, the results, outcome of the project, and then the rework also. So generally, if we are going with the quality plan, there are very less chances that we will have to go with the rework process, because rework is generally done when we don't have the quality plan. But in certain cases, maybe a part of project where we have missed something, rework can also be an output for quality control, because we'll find out that this was a major difference between the requirements, the specified needs, and the requirements that we had tried to complete. So if the mismatch is too high, it's huge, we will have to do the rework also. That will definitely waste your money, time, and energy. So make sure you start with quality planning. A proper plan should be ready. Once the plan is ready, you assure quality at each and every step of the project life cycle. And then eventually you control the quality by making sure whether we have met the proper quality standards or not. And if we have met, to what standards we have met. So these things are very, very important. And that's all quality control is all about. All right. So now I'm really happy that you have reached the summary part and you have covered all the modules in this particular course. In this particular course, we have understood the importance of quality when we talk about managing a particular project. When you are managing a particular project, you have to make sure that you are managing the quality as well from the very beginning. Throughout the project life cycle, we have to make sure that the quality is planned, it is assured, and eventually it is controlled. It can never be inspected in. It should be planned in. That was the whole idea behind this particular course. We started with the definition of quality, where we understood that quality starts with customers and it ends with customers. We understood that quality is all about meeting the requirements of the stakeholders, meeting the requirements or the needs, specified needs of the customers or the end users. We understood the importance of project quality management, because if we will not manage the quality in a particular project, eventually it can cost us our time, energy, money, and efforts. It will be wastage of human resources as well as non-human resources, which definitely is not a very good idea. So whenever we are managing a particular project, we have to make sure that we are managing the quality as well from the very beginning. It should not be like there are some certain steps, we have some particular points we have where we will be managing the quality. It should start from the very beginning of the project and should go till the very end of the project. We should always document the learnings as well that we are taking from one particular project, in order to make sure that when we go to the next project, we can implement all those things and we can improve the quality for that particular project. Learning will always be a part of project quality management, because you can never reach the 100% requirements of the customers. There will always be some mismatch, and that mismatch can never be fulfilled. It can only get improved when we move from one project to another project. So make sure whenever you are managing a particular project, you manage the quality from the very beginning and you document all your learnings which can be used in the upcoming projects. We have also seen in this particular module, in this particular course, that there are 3 major steps when we talk about project quality management. Step number 1 is quality planning. First of all, you have to plan for quality. In that, we will have a proper quality plan ready at the end that will be taken as an input for quality assurance, and then we'll go about quality controlling. So in quality planning, we have to establish the quality standards, that this is what quality means for this particular project. And this is what we are supposed to reach at. This is something that we want to achieve from this particular project. That is a part of quality planning. Then are we actually following those quality standards or not? How can we follow those quality standards? That is a part of quality assurance. That's how we will be ensuring the quality throughout the project life cycle. The last part is quality control. Now, following the quality standards is one thing, but meeting the quality standards is another thing. So, following part is a part of quality assurance, but meeting the quality standards is a part of quality control. So, I'm very sure that you have learned all these details about managing quality in a particular project from this particular course. Thank you so much.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoy this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video for any queries or suggestions and I'll respond to your comments.